Hey guys, welcome back to Cooking for One. Today we're going to do a Taco Tuesday episode, so grab yourself a drink, as usual, and let's get ready to cook. So for today we're going to do a red salsa, some guacamole, and then some beef chorizo tacos. So to start with our salsa, we're going to take one onion, cut it in half, and get that on the tray with 4 quartered tomatoes. I like to take the little stems off here. We're going to also have 10 cloves of garlic on there, and then 2 jalapenos I like to de-seed. Just run a fork from tip to stem. It usually gets a lot of the seeds out. Once that's all in the tray, we're going to add some olive oil, and then get that in a 350 degree oven for about 20 minutes. Next, we'll work on our guac. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take 2 avocados. I like to just cut around them, separate them. And what I do here is I cut little squares, 4 by 4. And then we'll take the pits out of the other one, just plant your knife in it, twist it, they'll come right out. And get your squares in there too. Take a mortar and pestle or a bowl, scoop that on there with a little bit of pico de gallo, some lime juice, some salt and pepper. Mash that up pretty good before you add the rest of your avocado, the rest of your pico, which is jalapenos, tomatoes, and onions, a little bit of cilantro and some lime juice. Add about a quarter bunch of cilantro to that, chopped. A little bit more lime juice, stir that up thoroughly, and I'll get that into my serving vessel. Cute little glass bowl it is. Once that's all set, put it in the cooler, and we can come back and start prepping our beef for the tacos. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut up about 4 Serrano chilies, and I just like to have them, de-seed them the same way I de-seed the jalapenos, and then I'll take the halves, cut them in half once more, and then just slice them around. And like I said, we're going to do this with about 4 of these Serranos. They're not very spicy, but they have a decent flavor and a mild heat that I think will add really well to the beef. And there we go. Once we do that, we're going to add some olive oil to our skillet, which already should be pretty hot. I've had it heating up a little while. Yeah, that's hot. I hate burning myself. We're going to add about 2 onions, about 8 cloves of garlic, 1 pound of beef, and then we got a half a pound of chorizo there. So first we're going to start with the onions. We're going to kind of get those nice and low till they just start to turn translucent. And we'll add in our beef. Layer it out evenly and just start to break it up in the pan with the onions. Then we're going to add our spices. We got cumin, coriander, paprika, some cayenne pepper, a little bit of oregano, and then just a little bit of chili powder, some black pepper, and some salt. We're going to add our garlic now once that starts to go. We don't want that to get too much color. I actually like the taste of garlic before it gets brown. We'll add our serranos to that, build a little well once that starts to incorporate. And yeah, you really just want to work this around. In that well, we're going to put the chorizo, or chorizo, whichever one you can find, and we're going to let that kind of cook down by itself. Once the fat from the chorizo starts to render and you start to get a little bit of liquid at the bottom of the pan, that's a good sign that it's ready. Here I am just adding a little bit more cumin, a little bit more paprika. I just like it like that. But what we're going to do next is we're going to take a sip, a little bit more black pepper, and we're going to add a little bit of water to this. That's just going to help it simmer real nice. And I'll actually put this in the oven now and let it finish in there at a nice even heat while we get the tortillas ready. So next we're going to want to blend up our salsa. And for this we're going to take all of our roasted vegetables into a food processor. And to that we're going to add some salt and pepper, a little bit of coriander, a little bit of cumin, some olive oil, about a half a bunch of cilantro, 2 squeezes of lime juice, and we're going to pulse that till smooth. Taste it, make sure it's okay, get it in a bowl and let it cool in the refrigerator. Now we're going to get a clean skillet, a little bit of, clean up your mess real quick. We're going to put a little bit of oil in the skillet, make sure it's on. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of oil on the bottom of the skillet and let that heat up. While we're waiting for that to get hot, I'm going to go get a bowl. And what we're going to do is put a mixture of water and olive oil in the bowl. We're going to use that for our tortillas. So what we're going to do is, I have these corn tortillas, never use flour, and you're going to double them up So you're gonna need 6 total, or 8 if you're hungry. And you want to double them, give them a quick dip in the water and oil, and then get them in the hot pan. Yeah, and then lay them out on a paper towel once they're nice and soft and pliable on both sides. They should have a little bit of a crispy feeling to them, but not crisp enough where you can't fold them. Toast both sides, dry them off on a paper towel, set them aside. And that's pretty much it. We're ready to plate now. So get your favorite festive plate and another little glass bowl that matches the first one if you're lame like me. And we're going to layer some of our salsa into this bowl. This is very important. Tacos need salsa. We'll get our guac on that plate too. See how nice it is with those little matching bowls? I love it. I'm going to grab the meat out of the oven right now. Oh yeah, it smells awesome. Yeah, it's going to be good. And what we're going to do is just fill the tacos. I like to do 2 scoops. Nothing crazy. And I'm using a slotted wooden spoon so I get all that liquid out. There you go. And you can kind of like, you could do more, but I think 3 is more than enough for me. Layer them like that. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Lime wedges. Quarter the lime. Use it to prop up the edges. And then we're going to take the rest of our cilantro, or pretty close to the rest of it. Chop that up. I only cut my cilantro once, by the way. I don't like to cut it in more than one direction or go over it again, because it just gets wet and gross. Put cilantro on there, and you're ready to go.